Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Boom! 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 Boom!
Transformers: Age of Extinction. This one goes away from the Sam Witwicky Chicago franchise and moves it over to Texas, where we meet Mark Wahlberg and his daughter. And they have an interesting story. It's good to have fresh characters, get away from the old, whatever that was. So we're back here. We find out that the humans are now hunting the Transformers because they don't want they don't want to have anything to do with them. They want to get away from them. They think they're causing the aliens to come. And that's really the premise of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, the story of Mark Wahlberg's kind of past or whatever was kind of, rushed and stuff. Yeah. But hey, I think he's 10 times better already than Shia LaBeouf was. I mean, it definitely works with Mark Wahlberg. It's just that it's kind of a little rushed and it's kind of different, but it does work, and actually I think he did a good job in this movie. Him and his daughter actually are played pretty well. The person that isn't played well is the boyfriend.
Oh my god. I mean, her boyfriend is so annoying. From the first time I heard him talk, they gave him a Scottish accent or something that wasn't useful. And then his character was so poorly written. He was supposed to be like, he drives for a living, he's supposed to be tough like that. He just wimps out of every situation, takes the credit. Mark Wahlberg really does all the work for him, and he just sits back and smiles. Hey, he's awful. He's awful.
Yeah, he wasn't very good in this movie. But overall, I mean, this movie is your typical Michael Bay movie. You're going to see lots of action for a very long period of time. In fact, this is the longest Transformers movie of the franchise. And again, it's so long and so much action. Come into this movie prepared and ready, because you're going to see lots of explosions, lots of things broken, and it's a typical Michael Bay movie that you're going to see. But, I mean, it's good in that aspect. I mean, you're going to see the action, but, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, by the fourth film of this franchise, we know what to expect going in. You're going to get minimal character development and lots of explosions. And those were cool for a while in this movie, but again, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes. And you feel it. You don't want to ever feel how long this movie is, but you can feel how long it is. You know that you've been sitting there for 2 hours, and something else is exploding, and it just gets tiring after a while. It doesn't get exciting or fun anymore or cool, because it's been going on forever.
The good news is it's better than the talking part. Actually, I mean, at least it's action. At least we're watching it. Yeah, it does get a little bit boring at times, just because there's just the same stuff over again, just action, action, action.
Yeah, but numbs your mind.
It is good, though. It is good. I mean, it's still pretty good for what it is. And another thing that this movie does a good job of is putting products in the movie. I mean, you see lots of product placement in this movie, as well as it's a good advertisement for cars. There's tons of cars in this movie. If you're a car lover, you're going to see plenty of fast cars in this movie.
Yeah, that's what this movie was, really an advertisement for Transformers toys and its gadgets and all that, more than a movie. But again, the action, you know what to expect. The story was really messy. I mean, they had 3 or 4 plots that you could have put in different movies that they decided they wanted in this one. You had the aliens, the humans, the Transformers. Everyone just tried to collide their plots into one, and it just got really messy after a while.
See, one of my favorite parts of this movie was actually the setup with Mark Wahlberg and his daughter setting this whole story up. Fix the Optimus Prime and all that stuff you saw in the trailer. That was actually one of my favorite parts. Actually, the most fun I had with the story part. Yeah, exactly. I mean, granted, the action was good, but I mean, come on. I mean, let's be honest. Yeah, lots of a little too much action.
There were
at times.
Fireworks coming out of his explosions, and every time an action scene ended, I swear, every time one ended, something had to go up. I mean, something blew up every time the action stopped. Someone shot something, and then that's when it ended.
I mean, and an Optimus Prime Bumblebee return, they actually did good, obviously. And then lots of new, whether it's the Autobots or the villains. What do you think of them?
Yeah, I thought the new bad guys, can't call them Decepticons because they're not really. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, Stanley Tucci's character, who was pretty good in the movie, they're creating new Transformers. And that's what the human side of this is, trying to build their own army. And those guys worked for a little while, but then, I mean, by the end of the movie, you couldn't tell who was fighting who.
Wait, they didn't have any personality, really? I mean,
no,
they were just kind of...
They weren't introduced, they weren't given a story or why they were there. They were just built, and they were on their own agenda. They just go, go, go.
I thought the other Autobots were pretty decent. There's this really big guy. I mean, he was actually pretty funny at times, and he was cool. He was blowing things up. And then a couple other guys that were fast cars.
Bumblebee was pretty good in this.
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Autobots were pretty good. I mean, they're different. They're not the Ironhide and all that kind of stuff we know, and Ratchet and stuff. But I mean, hey, they're new. They're cool. They were cool, fast cars and everything. So I mean, can't really complain.
What are you gonna give this one?
I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it. Again, a little bit bad on the story-wise, but again, your typical Michael Bay movie, you're going to enjoy it if you like Transformers. You're going to enjoy it if you like action. And, you know, all these products, cars, and that kind of stuff, you're going to enjoy that too. And Mark Wahlberg does a good job. This movie's not perfect, though. It's long, a little too long, but hey, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did enjoy the first Transformers. I haven't really enjoyed the other two. But this movie is probably the second best Transformers out of the franchise. But again, it's too long. I didn't get invested in the plot. Mark Wahlberg was he was the best part of the movie for me. His character and how he went along through the movie. But I can't get the movie to fresh because it was just too much Michael Bay exploding, and I was tired of it. 5.5 out of 10. It was a decent attempt, but it didn't hit the mark for me. But definitely an upgrade from the other Transformers movies we've gotten.
Yeah, I agree, and I definitely think you should still probably see this movie. It's a pretty decent.
It's a good popcorn movie.
Yeah, it is. It's a good popcorn movie.
If you don't,
it's
if
long
you have 3 hours to kill.
Exactly, you gotta invest some time. It makes you go to the bathroom, but again, it was a good movie. It was a fun time. It's a good, popcorn movie, as you said. Definitely, I would say that you go to the theater for this one.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely, if you're gonna see it, check it out at the theater, get the full experience. That's how you're going to enjoy the movie. If you go in saying, alright, I'm going to sit through 3 hours of explosions and Transformers fighting, I'm going to love it, then you'll like the movie. J&J Reviews,
signing out.